What is going on, everybody? Tristan Pellegrino back here with another video, and today we are back with another banger. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and yep, we're gonna get right into the video. We're at 8 subscribers right now. We're gonna keep grinding, keep doing the everyday stuff. Again, Roto Show video will be out tomorrow. I posted one yesterday, so I'm gonna do one content video, a sports content video, and then I'll do Roto Show, and then it's gonna keep going like that. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So today, I don't even think I announced what we're doing. We are doing my Cy Young predictions from each league, the NL and the AL. I'm gonna give you 3 candidates for the Cy Young, and I'm gonna list them from 1, 2, and 3. Without further ado, we are going to get right into it. All right, my first candidate for the NL is going to be Jacob deGrom. Look, Jacob deGrom has won the Cy Young 2 years in a row. He won it in 2018 and 2019, and I think he's going to win it again in 2020. I just think, a 60-game season, a lot of, Max Scherzer, I think he could be a candidate too, but, I just think Scherzer's getting a little older, so I think deGrom kind of has, he's kind of, a lot younger than, a lot of, pitchers, on this, list. So I'm going to go with deGrom. He's an absolute beast. He can, he throws soup. He can throw heat, strikes out a lot of guys. His ERA is really low. He can keep his ERA low a lot, and he's just, a great pitcher. He's obviously in our division, the Nats, and I don't really like facing him. But, you have to. I know we can hit off of him, but he's just a tough pitcher to hit, He can throw pretty much every pitch, He's got a good breaking ball. Throws, his fastball is, I think it's about 90s. It's in the high 90s, so, I mean, it's hard to hit. Not easy facing Jacob deGrom. So yeah, I'm going to go with him as my number 1 candidate for the NL. In the AL, my number 1 candidate is going to be the one and only Gerrit Cole. Now, Gerrit Cole, he's an absolute beast. He just got a huge contract from the Yankees, and I think that he's going to want to show that he deserves that contract. So I think he's going to have, I think he's going to be firing on all cylinders in 2020. He's going to just, go out there and show what he can do. He's already done that, but, he's just going to show that he's worth the big bucks. He's worth it. He's going to bring everything to the table. He's going to leave it all out in the field, and I just think that's what he's going to do. Gerrit Cole is almost unhittable. I mean, these past 2 years, he's been, almost unhittable. I know we struggled in the World Series with Gerrit Cole, but in that Game 7, we were lucky enough to get. Oh no, Gerrit Cole was actually in the bullpen. He was warming up. He didn't pitch that game, but he was in the bullpen warming up, and they didn't put him in. They put in Will Harris, who we just picked up, but I'm not sure why Gerrit Cole wasn't in that game. I mean, it could have been a whole different ballgame if Gerrit Cole was in that game. But yeah, Gerrit Cole is just pretty much unhittable, so I'm going to go with him as my number 1 candidate for the AL. In the NL, my number 2 candidate is going to be Maxwell Scherzer. My boy, Max Scherzer from DC. And, this is not biased at all. Him and deGrom have pretty much been, in my opinion, the 2 best National League pitchers in the league for a while. Not last year. I think Scherzer was 3rd last year because, Ryu had a great year, but I just think Scherzer, he's 35 and he's still doing it. He's kind of like Verlander. They're still, they're pretty much getting better with age. Although Scherzer's spot is getting a little worse with age, but he's still, a top 3 pitcher in the league. So, yeah, that just shows how good he is. But, yeah, Scherzer, he throws high 90s fastball. Breaking ball is just disgusting. I mean, I love Max Scherzer, to be honest. And the thing about Max Scherzer that I do like is, I think one time, it was in, the 8th inning, Davey Martinez, our manager, was trying to take Max Scherzer out of the game, and Scherzer, screamed at him. He was like, no. So you just tell, Scherzer never wants to come off the mound. He actually pitched with a broken nose. He just takes the mound he doesn't really care. He'll do whatever he can to get on that field. So, Scherzer, number 2 candidate for the NL. AL, this is my number 2 pick for the AL, and it's going to go with Justin Verlander. Okay, I know that's like a little weird because I picked 2 Astros pitchers. No, not 2 Astros pitchers. One's Garrett Cole's on the Yankees now, but Verlander, I just think, you know, he's going to be firing on all cylinders. He didn't really get, like, you know, he's just old, and I think he's just going to want, you know, he doesn't have a lot left, and he doesn't have a lot of more years left. He probably has maybe 3 years left, and he's probably just going to want to finish strong. You know, this is not his last season or anything, but he just wants to finish as strong as possible, wants to keep winning as many Cy Youngs as possible. He's just disgusting. We faced him in the World Series. He is just amazing, you know, but, yeah, I'm going to go with him as my number 2 candidate for the AL. My number 3 candidate for the NL is going to be, drumroll please, Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw, yeah, I know he finished like 8th in the Cy Young voting last year. I was looking actually before I recorded this video, and he was 8th in the Cy Young video, and that's not the greatest for Kershaw, but it's still, you know, he's still a top 10 pitcher in the league. But Kershaw is slowing down. I know against the Nats in the NLDS, he did not have a good postseason. Kershaw just doesn't really. He's known to choke in the playoffs. But I just can't put the guy any, you know, I can't put him any lower than 3. Like, how could I put him at like 4 or 5? This guy is amazing. I know what he can do. This guy just needs to show up in the playoffs. And, you know, I think he could do that this year. I'm going to go with Clayton Kershaw as my 3rd candidate for the NL. In the AL, my 3rd candidate is going to be, can I get a drum roll again, please? Charlie Morton from the Tampa Bay Rays. Yes, Charlie Morton, look, I don't watch a whole ton of the Rays, but I still know Charlie Morton. I've seen him, you know, pitch on TV a lot. I looked at his stats. He's disgusting. I mean, you should see this guy. You know, his slider, I don't really know what his fastball is like, but I don't watch a whole lot of Charlie Morton, but I know he's a great pitcher. You know, he strikes out a lot of people. He's you know, he's not, you know, the best pitcher in the league, but he's definitely, I think he's a top, you know, 5, top 3 pitcher in the AL. In the league, he's probably like top 7 maybe, but I mean, he's just disgusting. He played actually pretty well against the Astros in the ALDS last year. Yeah. I mean, the dude is a beast. I mean, all these people that I'm putting in are absolute studs. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. This was another banger video. It's been your boy T-Gang. I'm out.